All flat earthers started out believing the wobbling, spinning space ball. We were educated in public and private schools. We were told what to believe is true without question. For many years, I never opened my eyes and saw the earth for what it was, or is. My mind was controlled. I was spellbound to an illusion, thinking it was real. Then just a few years ago in 2020, I kept hearing flat earthers this, flat earthers that. I thought to myself, who on the world would think the earth is flat? It's just ridiculous. However, I wanted to know why people took flat earth so seriously. I wanted to stand in their shoes, see and understand things from their point of view. So, did my own research. I came across Eric Dubay and his 200 proofs video on YouTube. I mean, if a man claims he has 200 proofs, that's a big claim. If it is that big, then I figured he takes the flat earth seriously and would be a great source of information to start with. I watched the video, 200 Proofs the Earth is Not a Spinning Ball. I watched 5 minutes. I watched 10 more minutes. I started feeling as if a dark spell over mine was lifting. The content in the video made sense. It was logical. When Eric explained no curvature in the ocean, that is when it dawned on me. The globe spell lifted from my mind. I was liberated. The earth is flat. You see, I served in the Marine Corps back in the late 80s, a 4-year enlistment. I was at sea for almost 2 years of my 4-year enlistment. 6 of those months, I was at sea, with no shore leave because of the operations in the Persian Gulf, leading up to Operation Praying Mantis in April of 1988. I manned a 30-millimeter automatic deck gun on the barge Hercules, the U.S. government leased. The government transformed the Hercules from a construction platform into a miliary platform. It was my job to stand watch over the ocean, looking for surface contacts. It was this experience combined with Eric's explanation that there is no earth curvature, because you can bring ships out of view or beyond perspective back into full view within perspective. Ships are brought back into full view using optics, and there is no wall of water, earth curvature, blocking my line of sight. There is no refraction because light is passing only through one medium, air. Although there is humidity and moisture in the air, humidity or moisture act like a magnifier, making objects seem larger or close, as opposed to a mirage illusion. My real-life experience coupled with Eric's well-documented explanation liberated me. The more I watched, the more astonished I became. I'd never noticed details about our reality. I never questioned my teachers, my university professors. Why would they lie? They aren't doing it on purpose. They are just ignorant. They too were told the earth is a ball. However, you must be humble. You must have an open mind. You must be willing to leave your comfort zone and experience something you never did before. Learning the earth is not a globe is like leaning there is no Santa Claus, no Easter Bunny, no Tooth Fairy. Once you realize the earth is flat, it settles in you like cemented truth. It's compatible with common sense. It confirms with what you see with your own eyes and experience. You never go back to the believing a wobbling, spinning space ball. Eric Dubay has picked up the banner or torch from the 19th century scholars and carried it into the 20th and 21st century. Eric Dubay is Earth's 21st century flat earth scholar and authority. If you are curious about flat earth, this book is a great start for you.
The Earth is Flat, Part 1. The reason this is important is because NASA wants you to believe that you are just a blip in the universe. You're spinning around a galaxy that's spinning around other galaxies, that's spinning around the universe that just keeps expanding. They don't want you to know that there is a God who made heaven and earth, and his name is Yahweh. His name is I am that I am, and he loves you. If they can get you to believe the lie, they have you. You're always going to be searching and exploring and believing in humanity when you should believe in Jesus Christ, who died for you. In the Bible, on the very first page of Genesis chapter 1, it says, "In the beginning, God created heaven and earth." Not God created the planets, the galaxies, the solar systems, the universe. He just created heaven and earth. And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above. So there is a firmament in the midst of us, there's waters below it and waters above it. He also created lights to divide the day and the night, and they were supposed to be for signs, seasons, days, and years. So he made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, which we call the sun, and the lesser light to rule the night, which we call the moon. He made the stars also, and he set them in the firmament of heaven to give light upon the earth. Just to give you a visual representation of what Genesis is saying, and here are some Bible verses to help, but pretty much there's water above the firmament. Inside the firmament are the sun, moon, and stars, and then also below the firmament are waters. How could we possibly be spinning around and rotating and all these things? Try getting water in a bowl and running with it and see what happens to the water. And people say gravity, but why doesn't gravity apply to that? How do you keep water in a bowl spinning around? So if it doesn't apply to that, why would it apply to a larger scale? The Earth is Flat Part 2, Moon Edition. So in addition to space not being real, we never landed on the moon. In fact, the moon is a light, the lesser light mentioned in Genesis 1:16. Don't believe me? Let's hear from somebody that supposedly landed on the moon and hear what they have to say about it.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know. Because we didn't go there and...
I don't know, brother. The math ain't mathin'. Also, do you really think we landed on the moon in this? It looks like duct tape, some type of thin pipe, cardboard, garbage bags, aluminum foil, plastic. Like, you really think we left Earth's orbit, supposedly, and landed on the moon with that? Like, come on. Is this real life? Like, aluminum foil and duct tape. And who knows the other materials, but just know that it's not a real ship. Also, go on a plane. You can literally see the moon and the sun under the horizon. Sometimes you can even see them under the clouds. How can it be under the clouds if it's 240,000 miles away? Because it's not. Or how about an eclipse? The sun and the moon are the same size, and that's why they're able to pass in front of each other perfectly. Just do some research and stop believing everything that NASA tells you. In part 3, I'm gonna go over NASA, their logo, and everything. Stay tuned.
Bungee jumping in New Zealand, according to Globe Tards.
Do you still think we're living on a spinning ball that is able to bend water? Think about that. Making water curve. If gravity is so powerful that it can hold trillions of gallons of water on a spinning ball, then why can a butterfly just flitter away at will? There is no such thing as gravity. It's called density. If something is more dense than the air, it falls. If it's less dense than the air, it rises. If something is more dense than the water, it sinks. If it's less dense than the water, it floats. There is no such thing as gravity. It's density. If we're spiraling through space at a zillion miles an hour, Why does the North Star never move? Why are all the constellations in the same spot year after year if we're hurtling through space, spiraling out of control into nothingness? If the sun is 93 million miles away, why doesn't it light up space? You're telling me it only lights up once it hits the Earth? Come on, people. Time to wake up. Everything you know is a lie.
Gravity doesn't exist. You've been lied to. Gravity is not a force, it is simply an illusion, and here is the logic behind it. The concept of gravity is used to justify the Earth being a spinning ball, and that without the idea of gravity, we would question why we do not fall off of this spinning ball that's darting through outer space at speeds we cannot even comprehend. We would question why our oceans stay level despite being on a curved and uncontained planet. The real reason why things fall or float is due to density and buoyancy. If something is heavier than air, then it falls, and if something is lighter than air, it floats. Newton could not fully explain his theory for gravity. It is in fact just that, a theory and math model that has been debunked.
Who said the Earth isn't flat? Take a look at this. Looks pretty flat to me.
Pilots admitting that the Earth is flat.
Flat or is it globe, mate?
It's flat.
This is flat. Thank you very much, mate. God bless.
A man asked the pilot if the Earth is flat.
Can I talk to the pilot, please? Right here. You're the pilot? Hi. How long have you been flying for?
Like for Delta, 21 years, but maybe like 30 something.
I want to know, because they say the pilots know a lot. Do you think the Earth is flat or no?
I know it's flat.
You know it's flat? How long have you been flying for, you said?
Over 30 years.
And when you tell people that, do they think you're like crazy or no?
Only one person.
Only one person?
Yeah.
Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, according to Globe Tards.
The moon is not what you think it is, and I'm going to show you right now. This is a Starfinder app. This is the actual sun, and over here is the moon. It's blacked out because it's in a phase that we can't see right now, but I want to show you we should be able to see it and that the moon is not what you think. In a second here, I switch over to just the camera view, and this is a really good podcast, by the way, Christian and Conspiracy podcast, right there. Check it out. Anyway, now I'm in the camera view. Again, sun. And there is no moon, 0%. You can't see a thing. At this angle, you should be able to see it if it was a dusty space ball reflecting its light back to us. I even try to show that with my own little experiment here. We got the sun, we got the moon, same angle. You can see a good portion of this. The moon is not what you think. It is not a dusty space ball. It is a luminary. It produces its own light, which just happens to be cold. Okay, I want you to look at this again. That was a sled going 6,599 miles per hour. I want you to take note. Watch how fast it seems like it's going, please. So fast you can't even see. Okay, now I want you to read this, or I'll read it to you. If a rocket is launched from the surface of the Earth, it needs to reach a speed of at least 7.9 kilometers per second. Per second. That speed, get out of the way, is 20 times the speed of sound, okay? And I'm a miles guy, so I want to know what that is in miles. In miles, 7.9 kilometers per second is 17,671 miles per hour. It's almost 3 times faster than that sled you could hardly even see. Now let's look at these rockets and see how fast they're going. And yes, I know they could, they don't just go 0 to 17,000 instantly. But this is a balloon. It's being launched like a balloon would. It's starting to float. It goes a little faster, but not much. All other rockets are the same. And you could say, yeah, it takes a long time. But let's watch this rocket from an airplane that's had a lot of time to gather speed.
Set at the VIP section, watch and launch. Yeah. But I've never seen it from the air. Yeah.
That's incredible. Great. Can you still see okay? Yep. Thank you.
Think of what that 6,000 miles per hour looked like. That 6,000 miles per hour that you could hardly see moving because it was going so fast. This is never going to reach 17,000 miles per hour. Not to mention the G-force that it would crush the pilots in. Guys, just because they say it doesn't mean it's true. What do Elon Musk and a bullet have in common? Stick around, you'll find out. A bullet goes 1,800 miles per hour, and we can all imagine how fast that is. So fast you can't see a bullet as it's whizzing by you. Not that I've ever been in that experience, but we all know. And at 25,000 miles per hour, that's how fast you have to go to leave the Earth's surface, supposedly, in my opinion, in a rocket. Now, let's see just how fast these rockets look like they're going. These balloon rockets. Here's SpaceX. Flame is at full capacity. Look at the clouds. It is going extremely slow. We already know this. I've pointed this out several times, but I want to show you something new. We know this is going slow, but check out Starlink and how slow Starlink looks to be going. Again, compared to the clouds. Also, Starlink's supposed to be orbiting Earth, yet somehow it's in front of the clouds. Tell me how that works. And then let's also look at this bird that flies by and just compare the speed of a bird to the speed of Starlink. And then let's look to see how fast Starlink is supposed to be moving. It's quite funny. So this was a daytime video, a video from someone I actually know. This is a nighttime video of Starlink, again, from someone I actually know. And we can, again, see how speedy this thing is really moving. It's hardly detectable. And now let's look to see how fast Starlink is going to keep its orbit going around the Earth. It is laughable. Starlink satellites to orbit the Earth have to keep a speed approximately 27,600 kilometers per hour. That seems fast, but I'm a miles guy, so let's see what that is. 27,000 kilometers per hour to conversion of miles per hour, 16,777. Come on.
The Flat Earth map dates back over 1,000 years. This map is credited to being created by a Persian astronomer. His name was Al-Biruni, and he lived from 973 AD to 1048 AD. It's the official map of the United Nations and also of the United States Geological Survey. It used to be present in many places before the creation of NASA and the Antarctic Treaty in 1959. Here you see it with Admiral Byrd. This map has been restored by Dmitry from Russia with suggestions of mine, Eddie Alankar, known by my YouTube channel Flat Earth Banjo. I asked Dmitry to include the Bermuda Triangle and Point Nemo, a place deep in the Pacific Ocean where NASA buries rockets. Then Robert Tozzi, a professional mapmaker, came along and enhanced the map even more. There are many people now selling this map online, but if you could order it from my online store, I would greatly appreciate it. Visit my store now and order one of the items. I humbly thank you.
Said we could walk forever. I'm wishing my days away. No way. This is the price